In the last video we had a look at adding a simple color material to our sphere. Let's expand on that a little bit and add several different colors to our sphere. I've gone ahead and created a new sphere, and I've gone into a side view number 3 and orthographic number 5, our right ortho. Let's hop over to our materials button, and once again we can see we don't really have much there, but we do have that initial material. So we'll do the same things that we did before, and I'm going to go ahead and rename this to red for the moment. But then we're going to look at some of the other buttons that we have going on here. One of the first things to note are these plus minus buttons off to the right. These add material slots, which is important to us having multiple materials on an object. If I were to click the plus a couple times, it would add 2 new material slots for me. And then it would ask me if I want to create a new material for that, or if I want to add my red material to these slots as well. I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Now we also have an X and a plus underneath next to our material name. We can also add additional materials as we go, and you can see that we added O1 and O2, but it replaced that initial slot. If I pull this down, I have 3 different materials available, but the last one I created is the one that's initially there. I will go ahead and undo that as well. There we go. So the best way for us to go about this is to add a couple new slots. Select those slots and click Add New. I will rename this to blue. I'll select my third slot and rename that to green. Now we can see we have 3 potential materials available, and they are all attached currently with this scene. Now that does not mean they're all attached with this object, just part of this scene. Right now, if we were to close this out and start over, we would lose at least 2 of our materials because they're not attached to anything. Now we can save these so that they're available to use with anything in the scene. And that's what this little F key is. If we go to blue and select F, and green and select F, and our red and select F, we can now see that we have this little F in front of all of our materials. That means that they have been saved as a material and are free to be used on any of the objects in our scene rather than simply being attached to the current object. Let's go ahead and actually make our colors our colors. So we have red. I'll come down like we did before and click on my diffuse, and I'm just going to pull that to a nice bright red. We have blue, and we have green. Now we should note that although I've created 3 different colors, my ball is entirely red. That's because Blender will automatically apply the first material in the stack to the entire object. But we can change that. I'm going to go ahead and hop into edit mode. And also while I'm on it, you'll notice that I've suddenly gotten this round menu popping up when I hit tab instead of just going back and forth. That's because I've upgraded to the now stable 2.74. So by all means you may want to do that. If you haven't done that and you're still in 2.7 or 2.72 or something like that, you can just tab into edit mode and that's fine. But as we go down the road, we will see some interesting new tools added to 2.74, so I highly recommend keeping up with that. Alright, so I'm going to grab edit mode. And I'm going to hit Z, which brings up another one, and go to my wireframe. And I'm going to deselect everything. I'm going to Control Tab to face. And now I'm going to select the top, well, not really the top, but the middle set of faces towards the top. And you can see my green is selected, and I have an Assign button. So I can assign my green material to that. I'm going to hit A to deselect, B to create a box. I'm going to select my blue material and assign that. Now, if we tab back to solid mode, we can see that we've applied multiple materials to our sphere. And we can go through our various materials, and if I hit select, it will show all of the faces that have that material assigned. I can also deselect and do this again. So it's a pretty handy way to navigate about the things as you're texturing inside your workspace. Alright, we've gotten a good look at adding material slots. We've gone back and added some different colors like we did in our first video. We've seen how to create some different materials for us to select and how to save those so that we can use them for anything we like. And we've learned about assigning to particular faces and how to select and deselect faces that already have particular colors assigned. That puts us in pretty good shape, so we're going to move on to the next video. I'll see you there.